Welcome to a nourishing midweek lunch hour conversation with Spokane's newsmakers, thought leaders, and popular entertainers. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Welcome to Spokane Talks Live.
Spokane Talks Live. Kent Adams here. Happy New Year to you. It's the third day of January, 2018. We don't write checks much anymore, but I have started to write the date out a couple of times, and you guessed it. I'm able to make the 7 on the 17 into an 8. I think we're all learning that. Hey, we've got two guests today. Fabulous topics, fabulous guests. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to learn some things, too. First guest, it's the first Wednesday of the month, and so Kate Hudson, our very own Spokane Kate Hudson, I might point out, is here to talk about all the great things going on, and she's going to have a job now to top what happened with First Night and with all the things going on during the holiday season. And so we'll see if we'll put her to the test, and we'll see if she can handle that. And then Larry Haskell, who is the Spokane County prosecutor. We're going to have a good conversation about locking them up and how we treat offenders and a number of other things that we need to talk about, because safety is very important to all of us and our families. So with that in mind, stay tuned. We'll be back with Spokane Talks Live right after this.
For the Inland Northwest most comprehensive sports report, think outside the porch with Spokesman.com. For just 99 cents for the first month, you'll enjoy unlimited digital access to the news and sports news that affect you most. From EWU to WSU, from Northwest Preps all the way to the Seahawks, we're the local authority that makes sports in the Inland Northwest different than the rest, better than the rest. On your phone, on your desktop, and on your tablet. Subscribe to the digital experience with Spokesman.com.
I'm Lexi Dyson. I am an archaeological technician for the Tahoe National Forest in California. Archaeology is perfect for me. It kind of combines all of my loves: history, my love of culture, my love of arts and science. As a girl, you don't really get told that science is for you. Like when you look on TV, you always see men in lab coats. I was a freshman at North Central. Randy James was one of my biggest cheerleaders. Randy was one of the first people who told me that you are good at this, you can do this. His favorite phrase that he would say to us that really stuck with me is, Yato, you are the ones. We're the ones who are going to make the difference. We're the ones who are going to make the change. You really start thinking, oh my gosh, yeah, we are. I am the one. I am the one that's going to do this. The work we're doing in Tahoe definitely is going to be here for good. Our purpose here is to preserve things and to make them last, to be here for good, for those future generations to enjoy. I love the variety of it and being able to see things that nobody else really gets to see, and having that touch of history and connection to people in the past. I am helping people by preserving their own heritage, their own resources. One of the things I love about STCU is using the STCU mobile app no matter where I go. It could be here in Tahoe National Forest, I could be back home, or it could be clear away across the country. I've been so impressed by their willingness to help and just be there where I need them to be, basically. It gives me a sense of home, even though I could be 3,000 miles away, 6,000 miles away, which I have done with STCU, and I've never looked back. I'm Lexi Dyson, and STCU is here for good.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
Welcome back to Spokane Talks Live. And as we do the first Wednesday of every month, Kate Hudson comes down here. Now, you were last night working on the list for today, right?
I was.
And there's one coming up about the third or fourth one down that your husband was leaning over watching.
Yes.
So wait a second now. Here's the picture. You're in bed
Yeah.
with the laptop,
Yep.
talking, sending me stuff.
Yes.
And your husband's beside you.
Yes.
Okay. Is there awkwardness there somewhere? I'm just kidding.
It was all copacetic.
Yeah, okay. Hey, put out the challenge when we kicked off the program this morning, you know, coming after the holidays, let's face it, between Thanksgiving and New Year's with the ice ribbon and first night and all the holiday things coming on. You have to work extra hard to come and stay with that schedule, don't you?
Yes.
So have you done it?
Yes.
Okay. So what's up first?
We have First Friday.
But is it on First Friday?
No.
Oh, what did you do?
So
Too close to.
it's too close to First Night Spokane.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Downtown Spokane Partnership, who spearheads First Friday,
Okay.
decided that the First Night Spokane hangover
Needed a little more
they
time.
need a little more time to recover. So First Friday will be on the second Friday this month, January 12th. So a couple of businesses will be doing some things this Friday if you do feel so inclined to come
Okay,
downtown.
okay.
I'm not sure which one.
So it's not totally lost.
No, it's not totally lost. Not everyone's hungover from
Oh,
First
okay.
Night Spokane. But the official First Friday will be on the second Friday, January 12th. And
Okay.
it's just a great time to go down and check out the
That's really
local
caught on the
music
last
scene. It
few
has,
years,
yeah.
hasn't it?
A
Yeah.
lot of cities are doing it, and it's been very successful here. in
Now, are there
Spokane.
free places to go?
Oh yeah, you can. Well, it's all technically free. Like you can
Right,
just wander
right.
around and
But
look
if
at
you
art.
want to have a glass of wine
Right.
or you want to do something, of course you
Yeah,
got to pay
you have
for
to
that.
pay for that, and
Sure.
it's a great opportunity just to come downtown with your family and go have dinner. And
Okay.
um,
So it is a family event?
yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay.
I mean, there are some tasting rooms that are open that kids aren't
Oh,
allowed.
sure,
but,
sure. Well, you can figure out by
oh,
the
yeah.
name of the place, probably.
Art
Yeah.
galleries are open. There's local music.
And we need to spend more time with our kids, not only in schools and so forth, but with arts and all the arts, performing arts,
Mm-hmm. Right.
as well as, you and I have talked about I can't draw stick figures, those kinds of things. And we need more of that.
We do.
And so here's a chance to expose your kids or your grandkids to some fun things.
Right, and the magic of downtown, especially with the ice ribbon open. You could come down and go ice skating, and then
Is that a
Go on.
success or what?
it's magical.
Did I read the other day that the first 20 days has done in revenues?
Yes.
What? Okay. The
You did.
last year, yeah. Wow.
I know it's very special.
What happens when it takes off?
I know, right? Have you done it yet? Have you
No,
gone on
I
the ice
haven't.
ribbon?
I haven't done it yet. I'm waiting to put on a little more weight so that when I fall, I just bounce like those people.
Bumbles bounce.
Yeah, the bump. Yeah, yeah. The Winter Carnival Family Fun Day. What is that about?
Okay, so this is at Lookout Ski.
Okay.
Lookout Pass ski area.
Okay.
Let me get it right.
So watch out, look out.
I know. I think this sounds fun.
Yeah.
It is also it's Family Fun Day and the Pacific Northwest Wife Carrying
I
Competition.
just saw that. I thought, well,
That's
what's so
the part
fun about that? And
sounds
then I said,
fun.
okay, all
yeah,
right.
I'm excited about this one.
Where's
So
equal rights here that you gals can't carry us?
we already do in other ways.
Oh, that was good.
So many other ways.
I will have to give you full credit for that. I was slammed on that. You're
Yes.
absolutely right.
Yeah, you lobbed that one.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And then there's a Tom Hudson that you happen to be married to
Yes.
that was excited about this next event, wasn't it?
So he happened to be looking over my shoulder while I was doing these events last night, and he saw the two words Night Ranger
Yeah, yeah.
at Northern Quest Resort and Casino.
Yes.
They will be here on January 18th, and he got very excited.
Okay.
And I think I know what to get him for the next holiday.
Now, how
whatever
long
that
have
may
they been
be.
around?
35 years.
35 years. That
which
puts a little age on Tom,
I
doesn't it?
joyfully pointed that out to him. So I said, I think it now qualifies you as being old.
Okay.
because It's one of your favorite bands. Is
Now they've had
old.
some hits and things, haven't
They
they?
have Sister Christian, Don't Tell Me You Love Me, When You Close Your Eyes, all sorts of wonderful 1980s magic.
Yeah, yeah. Now, for
Yeah.
some of us, that wasn't so long ago.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Me included.
You kids, you. Okay. So, Who's Afraid?
Of Virginia Woolf.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
It
And
is, it
Spokane
is.
Civic Theater.
Now,
is
who starred in that in the classic?
in the it was
Yes.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Yes.
And her husband, who was on again, off again.
Yeah, yeah. I know.
British man.
I know. And as soon as you do that, I lost it. It's an obvious name.
Robert?
Richard Burton.
Richard Burton.
Yeah, okay.
I knew it was an R.
Yeah.
And I've seen the movie. So it's a fantastic movie. And Spokane Civic Theater does
But this
a
is the
fantastic,
Civic Theater.
Yes.
You know,
a
they do a
fantastic
great job.
They do.
They really do a great job. And they've
And
been
it's
having a good
affordable.
season, haven't they?
They have, yeah. They just finished up A Christmas Story.
Okay.
That was a good one.
Okay.
They just do a fantastic job, and the tickets are affordable. It's $25.
Wow.
That's not bad at all.
You know, and the Civic Theater continues over the years to get national awards
Yes.
for being a community theater.
Right.
And here we are here in Spokane, and you really would have to go to some major cities to see the kind of performances you see with amateurs here, because they love what they're doing.
I know.
It really makes a difference, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does, and
Yeah.
they do a fantastic.
All right, time for a little Motown, girl.
Yeah, the musical.
Yeah.
It's coming to Spokane thanks
Okay.
to West Coast Entertainment and Best of Broadway.
Now, who are they going to feature in that?
Okay, so it starts as one man story,
Okay.
becomes everyone's music. That's what their tagline
Okay,
is.
yeah.
It's the true story of Motown founder Barry Gordon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And folks don't realize what a legacy he has left
Yes.
in the music industry. And some of those include the Jacksons and others. I venture to say
Oh, yeah.
some of them and I'll miss.
Smokey
but,
Robinson,
yeah.
Diana Ross.
Yeah. And just classic music
Right.
of, I hate to admit this, my age group, okay? Okay.
So very young.
Goes
young.
goes back beyond Tom and his
Night
his
Ranger.
Night Rangers. Yeah. Oh, gee. Oh, he's gonna see this, and I'm gonna get a call. I know. I know. Good guy. He's, by the way, doing the GU basketball.
He is. He just
Right in the
left,
middle of it now.
I know, and he just left this morning for Los Angeles.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they will be playing Pepperdine and LMU this week.
Oh, I love Pepperdine.
this
I mean, the
weekend.
campus is
Oh,
beautiful
it's
out
gorgeous.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, you
it's
can't
just-
beat that.
No. Yeah.
But the Zags can beat them.
Yes. All
Fingers
right.
crossed.
All right. Okay, so Scheherazade?
No, Scheherazade.
Oh, okay. Well, easy for you to say.
That's the Spokane Symphony.
Yeah.
We'll be performing.
Okay.
January 27th, 28th. This is towards the end of the month. And Motown the Musical will be here January 24th through the 26th.
Oh, okay.
So you got all sorts of options.
Yeah.
Musical options. And of course,
Boy,
Martin,
so many more than we had even a decade or so ago.
Oh,
really.
I know. It's just wonderful. You can always find something to do in Spokane.
Right. Okay, and then
yeah.
is that the Fox Theater?
Yep,
And
and
prices range.
$17 to $60. Just
All
sort
right.
of depends on where you want to sit. And if you're a student, it's cheaper. If you're younger,
I'm always learning. Can I be a student? Probably
you have
not
to
in
have a
this
special ID.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm sure I do. and our prosecutor will probably bring me one after this with a jail number on it or something. But anyway, Mark Cohn?
Yeah, Cone.
Cohn,
Yeah.
okay.
You probably know his music. Walking in Memphis.
Yes, okay.
Classic.
Okay.
He will be here in Spokane at the end of the
All
month, playing at the Bing Crosby Theater.
Yeah.
And the acoustics in the Bing are phenomenal.
Yeah, you know, they
It's a great
have
place.
left no stone unturned and have spent the dollars to make that a really great place.
They have.
They've enhanced what was already a wonderful theater.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jerry Dicker
Yeah.
is
He loves the arts here in Spokane, doesn't he?
He's a huge supporter of the arts, and
Yeah.
he has really taken money out of his own pocket to fund the Bing and keep it afloat.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
keep that in mind.
You don't see that too often. And his dedication, I know
Yes.
his wife is on the board of the MAC and a few
Mm-hmm.
other things in town, and it takes a little dedication like that.
It does.
Speaking of arts and all the things going on, there's the
yes.
Spokane Arts
Yes.
Grant Awards
Yes,
coming up. What is that about?
I sent this out this morning on behalf of the Spokane Arts, who share an office with Visit Spokane.
Okay.
It's called Saga. It's the Spokane Arts Grant Awards, and
Okay.
they started it last year.
Okay.
And they are doling out money to art collectives, individual artists, anyone in the community that might have a project, an art project that they would like to do within the community.
Okay.
So if you're looking for grant money, you have until February 1st to apply.
Okay, so a couple weeks,
Yes.
yeah.
So they will hand out anywhere from $750 to $10,000, and it's a total.
I'd rather be on the 10,000,
I know.
yeah.
It's
but
a total of
still.
$85,000 combined.
Oh,
so,
wow.
They
Okay.
have some money to spend.
Good, good.
To support the arts in
And we
the
need to
Spokane
support
community.
our artists in town.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not only
all
by-
those murals you see under the overpasses and everything, the electrical boxes that are all covered. The Spokane Arts spearheads all of that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and really does a wonderful job of making our community look beautiful.
Great. So are you looking forward to a fantastic year with the GU basketball team?
Yes,
Yeah.
always.
Yeah. Are you
Yep.
ready for a big finale?
I hope that we reach the epitome of success that we saw
Yeah,
last year,
yeah.
but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but
Fingers crossed.
we don't have to be at the
Nope.
finals
No.
to be successful.
I'm always
Yeah.
excited about the Zags.
Yeah, yeah.
They're great.
And your husband better be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now he's got a new sidekick.
He does.
Yes.
Adam Morrison.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's been doing
Is
a
Adam
wonderful
going to get a
job.
haircut at Dan Dickau's? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I don't know. You know, Adam's hair is his thing,
style, I
shtick,
know.
But Dan Dickau's hair is his thing.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I always thought that was kind of funny that Dan has barbershops.
I know.
And it doesn't look like he's ever styled his hair.
Well, that's his
Yeah.
hair is his thing.
I guess so.
So it
I
makes
guess
sense.
so. Oh, you younger people. Hey, I work hard every week to keep mine gray to look distinguished. Is it working?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Very
that
much
was the
so.
right answer. Thank you. Kate, as always, thanks for coming.
So nice to see
and
you.
Good to see you.
Yes.
And welcome to 2018.
I can't
Have you been
believe
writing
it.
17 on things?
No, but you know, I do everything electronically now. I don't
Yeah.
write checks anymore. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't ever.
Yeah.
It's terrible or awesome.
All right.
However you want to look at it.
Well, if we don't do things right, we might get prosecuted, and we're going to talk with the county prosecutor next on Spokane Talks Live. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Tom Sawyer Country Coffee.
Tom Sawyer Country Coffee only roasts the finest organic coffee for our signature blends. Enjoy a cup at our coffee shop and local businesses and organizations across the region.
I'm Tom Sawyer, and we choose the Pacific Northwest.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy. Enough to power more than 4,000 homes for an entire year. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
What? You haven't been to the library lately? Stop in today and see that the library is more than books. Spokane County Library District facilities feature on-site technology, including Wi-Fi, computers, and printers, as well as free use of meeting rooms. The Library District offers events and programs for all ages, from story times to career development and employer classes to Social Security workshops. Our staff is well trained and happy to help. Find out more about your library at scld.org. Welcome back to Spokane Talks Live. Kent Adams, and I'm pleased to have, after pushing the stick for 2.5 years, our county prosecutor, Larry Haskell. How are you?
Real good. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Good to have you. Yeah. When I started this 2.5 years ago, I talked to you about doing a program and so forth, and then you just get busy. It was soon after you were elected, though, and I can only imagine what your agenda became. And,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
No, the
to make
agenda
the
is
changes.
very full.
Yeah,
Very full.
Yeah. Let's talk about, first of all, for those that are watching that go, okay, he's the county prosecutor. What does that mean? What do you handle? What do you and your staff handle?
Well, our duties are many in number. They're governed by the statute, so the legislature assigns what the office will do. We have a very large office. We're the largest law firm in the county.
Really?
And we handle not only the criminal prosecutions with which everybody's familiar, but
Right.
we also have a family law division. We have an entire civil division that I have a number of lawyers over there that represent other elected officials.
Okay.
We also represent the Board of County Commissioners, and we represent the county essentially in any action in which they are
Right.
either
But
brought
people
into.
don't really
or-
realize that, do they?
I don't think they do.
You know, they see the quick news on TV at night when you won a case or lost a case or whatever and think that's it.
Exactly.
You know.
And then, of course, we do have the criminal side, and, of course, that's the largest number of people because we have the lawyers divided into specialties.
Okay.
And it's very important that they do that because of the fact that when you are involved in a given specialty, you learn the issues that are generally associated, and they're very common to a given division, that sort of thing, and it takes a level of expertise. We do move the lawyers around a little bit, but overall, when they're in a specialty, we like to leave them there as long as
Well,
they're
there's
comfortable.
enough changes going on even within a specialty to stay up on it.
Absolutely.
And then having that depth of background that they can sit and talk with the opposing attorney and so forth and say, yes, but, here's the trend.
Sure.
Don't give me that line.
Sure, and
You
when
know?
you're new, you'll always be tested.
Yeah. What was your first big test? Almost, what, 3.5 years ago?
Golly, 3.5 years ago, the first big test probably would be in learning to work with the local media.
Oh, okay.
It's a learning experience like anything else. There is a learning curve, but right now.
Have you trained us yet?
Well, I don't know if I've trained you, but I've grown to learn how the system works,
Okay.
and I'm very comfortable within it now. And and the way you do that best is you try to do things the right way and follow the law and make sure that your people are in court and representing the state and the county in a very professional manner.
Right. Now, you and Ozzy often talk, don't you?
We have occasion to talk quite a bit.
Yeah, because all of the criminal stuff is coming basically through his office, right?
Well, we do have a good working relationship with all of local law enforcement, but probably the ones that we work with the most are Spokane Police.
Yes.
For felony level crimes that occur within the anywhere in the county, actually, and then with the county sheriff, because we have jurisdiction over everything outside of the incorporated limits, and that is mostly the sheriff. But we also do a lot of work with the Washington State Patrol as well, and then occasionally with Airway Heights, Liberty Lake, Medical Lake, and also, of course, Spokane Valley.
Right. And sometimes we forget, and Ozzy and I have often had this discussion. I've been down to Colfax and so forth, and you come out of Rosalia and just a mile or so out of Rosalia, and you're in Spokane County.
It is large.
And you start, I've talked to him about the coverage of that and putting a staff out there by themselves and everything else, all that goes into the danger of doing that, trying to cover. But also that then comes back to your office of having to prosecute people who, of incidents out there, as well as people who maybe live out there and so forth. That encompasses an awful lot.
Well, it does, and of course, one of the challenging aspects, given the size of the county and the rural nature of a lot of it, is making sure that we provide a level of safety and coverage for all the residents that live in those areas, as well as the same level of prosecution services that we would, for downtown Spokane as we would for out in Rockford or Valleyford or any of those areas, as well as up to Elk, Deer Park. And
what's the battle like in terms of budget?
Oh, the budget is always a challenge. You never have the resources you'd like to have. As you know, the county went through a very extensive budget examination program this year, and all of the county department heads, including myself, we were charged with coming up with a what-if type of a scenario. If you lost a percentage of your budget income, what would that look like in terms of the services you could provide? We all were responsible for coming up with a plan. We did, and I feel very fortunate that along with some letters of support from Scraps and Fish and Wildlife and other agencies, that the county saw fit to maintain our budget.
Yeah. When it comes down to it, we can talk about all the fringe things out there, but it really does come down to public safety.
Well, it certainly does for us. I wrote the Board of County Commissioners a letter, and I told them, I said, we are about public safety. Anything that is cut from our budget will in some way affect the public safety. And
not in a good way.
And never in a good way.
I want to bring up a case. It's just been in the newspapers and on TV the last couple of days, and it's in Idaho. But it brings up a point that has bothered me a lot, and that's of this fellow who was driving under the influence, apparently, who went through an intersection and T-boned a car, killed a young man, and his older brother, who was in the car, is, I guess, in the hospital. Refused to give the blood alcohol and all that, and I can understand why, because he obviously was under the influence and so forth. Out number one on $200,000 bail, which starts to worry me for killing somebody like that. For somebody that I believe did not have a valid license, hasn't had a valid license for something like 16 years, and has had at least one, if not two or three DUIs. What I worry about, Larry, is at my age, not so much about me, but I worry about my 4 kids, my 4 grown kids, and my 8 grandkids. That some night coming home in the dark, that someone's going to drive through an intersection and wipe out part of my family through no fault of their own. What can we do to ensure that these folks that have multiple incidents of DUIs get some time in jail? Because
Well,
I don't know that
yeah.
there's anything else.
Well, our legislature responded some number of years ago to making those with a significant number of DUIs a felony. For the
Right.
longest time here in Washington State, you could rack up as many DUIs as you wanted to, and you were going to be charged with a gross misdemeanor because that's what it was.
boy.
So the legislature has, over a period of a few years, has tightened that up so that we do have felony DUIs, I believe now after a third DUI
Right,
is
okay.
the most recent, and that will cause it's a C felony, and so it will cause the penalties to bump up. There is some statutory guidance on how DUIs are to be dealt with in terms of plea bargaining and that sort of thing. And about a year and a half ago, I tightened up the standards here that we used in Spokane. Because I was seeing, as a result of a number of things, including the recreational use of marijuana.
Yes.
We're seeing more.
Which is harder to test for, isn't it?
It is, and the proving it is difficult in a courtroom because the test isn't as refined as the alcohol
Right,
standard
right.
is. But as a result of seeing an increase in vehicular homicides and vehicular assaults, I decided that it was time for us to tighten that up a little bit, so we did, and we are pursuing those more aggressively than we previously had. And I like to think that we're making an impact. The filings are still significant, and we deal with those very carefully on a case-by-case basis as to whether or not we're going to give any kind of a reduction at all.
Yeah. Hey, let's take a quick break and come back and talk about some other things because this is fascinating and rarely do we get the opportunity, but I hope we get more opportunities as we go into 2018 here. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this.
Today, I will spark an idea.
Today, I'll help a student uncover the mysteries of DNA.
Today, I will nurture creativity.
Today, I'll help someone figure it out.
Today, I will protect our future by digging into the past.
Today, I will build a business that makes learning fun.
How will the future look?
What will we discover?
Invent.
Create.
Will we find ways to revive our planet?
Develop meaningful, high-paying jobs.
When most of those jobs don't even exist yet.
It'll happen because
We'll be the ones to invent those jobs.
It starts with better skills in math and science.
Engineering.
Technology.
And the arts.
It takes a willingness to try.
And fail.
and try again.
Because great things never happen on the first try.
Some communities are defined by geography.
Ours is defined by a vision
that encourages everyone
to develop a passion for learning.
It happens when high school freshmen learn college-level science.
When a teacher learns robotics.
When ideas are sparked with play.
By providing the tools to tinker.
And the space to create.
And our future gets better when we learn from our past.
I'm Randy.
I'm Mike.
I'm Brooke.
I'm Lexi.
She's Barb.
He's Marty.
We're all connected by a credit union.
That's invested in our community
for over 80 years.
Supporting teaching, learning,
and creating.
To make sure your future
and mine
are here for good.
SDCU, here for good.
Snoring can disrupt marriages and cause serious health problems. Call Sleep Better Northwest first, the experts in dental sleep medicine. Their medically approved, custom-fit oral appliances will have both you and your partner sleeping better and being more productive throughout your day. Don't wait. Snoring and sleep apnea can signal potential strokes or heart attacks. For more information, visit needbettersleepnow.com and download our health guide today. Sleep Better Northwest, the experts in dental sleep medicine.
Is your child having trouble coping with a personal disability, but don't know where to go? Consider our friends at Breakthrough Incorporated. Breakthrough takes great pride in mentoring their DDA clients who have intellectual disabilities and their BRS clients who have challenging behaviors toward the creation of safe, appropriate, ethically sound life goals. They integrate programs at school and home to enrich their lives. They work hard to make a positive difference in you and your family's lives. Breakthrough provides a highly structured, fully staffed residential setting in local neighborhoods, 6 in Spokane and 2 in the Tri-Cities. Diagnoses affect people differently, so their service to each resident is unique, giving them the opportunity to grow and evolve. For more information on Breakthrough, visit their website at breakthroughincorporated.org.
Welcome back to Spokane Talks Live. Again, our guest is Larry Haskell, Spokane County Prosecutor. And before we go too much further in this, year 4 is coming up.
Year 4 is now.
Is now, isn't it?
Right now.
Okay, so are you going to file, and are you going to go for a second term? Because you had talked about a 2-termer.
I did.
Okay.
I have already opened my PDC account, and
so I guess you have.
Yes. So I intend to file. Filing week is the week of May 14th this year, and I have ordered some of the things that you need to get a campaign off the ground, and I'm moving in that direction.
Good. Well, I'm pleased. I remember when you came up when we were doing Boomer Radio up at KGRB 4+ years ago now. It had been in the spring, I think, early summer of 2014. And after you would leave, I would go, wow, this guy's going to be good. And so I'm really pleased to see the job that you've done. I feel real comfortable. I feel real comfortable with you and Ozzy doing the things that you're doing with law enforcement and making it safer for Spokane. And once in a while speaking out about the things that need to happen too, because it's not all just in your budget or in Ozzy's budget. It's about what we can do as citizens to stand up to, isn't it?
Absolutely.
What are some of those things?
Well, what we're doing is, in terms of the citizenry, is what we're hoping for is to get people to be willing to come forward and report.
Yes.
For one thing, and that's why the sheriff revived the crime check number, which I think is effective. We'll never have the number of law enforcement officers that we'd like to have, but if we have people that are cooperative and they're calling in and willing to come forward as witnesses, that alone is a strong criminal deterrent right there.
Yes.
We also do a lot of education, and whenever I speak, I try to educate people on things you can do. For instance, one of my campaign promises was to aggressively prosecute chronic property offenders.
Yes.
And we have been doing that. And in addition to that, though, little things, and Spokane Police has done, I think, a very effective job, as has the Sheriff's Office, to get people to just understand little things about lock your car.
Yeah. Some of the basics.
Well, but they need to be reminded.
30 years ago, we didn't think much about that. 40 years ago in Spokane.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I came here 40 years ago, and it is different than it was 41 years ago.
It is. So little things like that. And then as far as your home goes, make sure that your doors are locked. You don't advertise the fact that no one's home by an accumulation of papers.
Right. Mail, everything else.
Yes. Yep. Whether you're home or not, keep your garage door closed.
Right.
That's an obvious invitation as well. And SCOPE program is very effective at putting law enforcement into neighborhoods.
That whole neighborhood watch kind of thing, whether it be the Spokane Police Department or the SCOPE through the Sheriff's Department, really is important, isn't it? Because we become neighborhoods that really don't know our neighbors like we used to.
Correct.
Yeah,
it is very important. And if somebody is going to be in the neighborhood and they realize that people are looking out for one another, that if you see somebody, if you're not law enforcement, you're not subject to the same rules about talking to somebody. You can actually say, hey, can I help you?
Yeah.
You look like you're lost.
Yes.
and that sort of thing. So I encourage that form of behavior of being involved. And if it doesn't look right, it probably isn't. And don't hesitate to call Crime Check in any appropriate circumstances. Or if you're worried about personal safety or something that's very imminent, that's what 911 is truly for.
Right. Are we getting any crazy 911 calls?
Oh, I'm sure they do. You see them. You see them
nationally, don't you?
Nationally, you see that.
Why isn't my pizza delivered?
That's right. Wasn't hot enough.
Yeah. Well, just tell them. They can tell them, well, the cop was bringing them by, but stopped at the donut shop or something like that. What the heck? Larry, what do you see as a couple of the main issues as you look to this year's election?
Well, I think one of the main issues is the prosecution of the chronic offenders. What we do, and we live in a different age than maybe even just 10 years ago, but certainly 20 or 30 years ago, and we offer treatment, and we have a lot of programs that offer younger, earlier in their career, if you will, offenders interventions through a drug court, and we have mental health court, we have vet court, just a number of alternatives to try to get people that touch the system early but don't become frequent flyers, and these are programs that will help them to avoid that. And then we do offer drug offender sentencing through the Department of Corrections for people that have been in the system longer.
People make mistakes.
They do,
you know?
and we recognize that fact. But when you've got 15, 20 felonies, there's
more than a mistake.
There's more limited options. And what I promised was that if they have a drug problem at that point and they've used up their DOSA, their drug offender sentencing alternatives, we'll still get them treatment, but they will be at the department as I have a community to protect.
Right. You've been attacked here and there at times by the Inlander and others and on the left in terms of being a little hard on time on criminals. But my guess is that the general public is saying, go get them, Larry.
Well, that's generally what I do here, and a lot of people say, "Gosh, why are they waiting, to be tough on sentencing till they get that many felonies?" I expect, that there'll always be criticism. One of my favorite sayings is that, we have about approaching 500,000 people in the county, and there's very many mornings when I can't get the majority of my family to agree with me. So I have no illusions that I'll please everybody on a given day.
There could be a joke or two there, and I won't go. Okay, that is like herding cats, and
Well, you know what I try to do is, and I do this through the people that work in my office, because I can't do the job on my own. These people are great; they work very hard, and are very dedicated to the safety of this community. I tell them, make sure that you uphold the Constitution of the United States as well as the state constitution, follow the law, represent the county very professionally in court. And if you do those things, then it will reflect well not only on you, but ultimately we will have a safer community.
Right. So sounds like you're very proud of your staff.
I am very proud of that staff, and they work very hard, and they often don't get the credit for it.
I was going to say.
So I'll sing their praises whenever I can.
Absolutely. Are they paid enough by today's standards?
Well, the county is working on that, and I work closely with the board and other county officials, and I can tell you that my staff, my non-lawyer staff, their pay lags way behind, and I'm doing everything I can to work with the board and again, the budget office.
Because there's a point at which you can be dedicated. But if you can't feed your family and can't do some of the things, and sometimes we ask our public servants to go well beyond what they might make in the private sector.
We do, and up to a great point they do that. But like you said, come a point where if somebody else is offering you $1,000 more a month to do the same job, it gets hard when you have a family to say no to that.
Yeah.
So we're working on staff pay in particular. Lawyer pay has come along, and I think it's pretty reasonable. But staff pay logs behind.
Are you able to retain the attorneys for the most part?
For the most part, we're doing a
I know
decent
you're
job.
always going to have some in and out. I mean, that's in any profession. But
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel comfortable that you're able to retain those that you really want?
I think for the most part, our attorney retention is pretty good.
Good. Because that can make or break you.
Staff
Well, I
retention,
mean, the whole staff.
Well, the staff retention, and they can make or break you as well, and staff retention is low. And that is...
As they sit in there with the on-off button for my microphone.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. They know who has the control, right?
So it's a priority of mine to work on that.
Yeah. All right. Anything else before we finish up here?
No, I just want to say that I'm very grateful for this opportunity to speak to you. I'm hoping that the voters of Spokane County will take a hard look at what it is that we've done and give me, through my staff, an opportunity to do it for them for another 4 years.
And you'll come back.
And I'll be back on your show.
Often. Okay. See, we do that live, and we got it on tape as well. All right. Larry, thank you for the job you're doing on behalf of all of us. It really, I say that. We don't thank our public service folks enough. We often talk about the frontline people and all that, and I've got a son who's a fireman out at Fairchild, okay?
Great.
And I get that. But sometimes we forget about those that are in the day-to-day job of kind of steering us in the right direction. So thank you for what you're doing, and thank you to your staff, all of your staff, for what they do to represent us. That's what they're doing, is representing us.
And I tell them that all the time.
Yeah.
I said, it isn't about you, it isn't about me, it's about the job we do for the people we serve.
But sometimes they don't hear that from the rest of us. And how do we as a public tell them that? You know, you can go in and say,
I'll pass it on.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Larry. Hey, thanks
you.
for watching next week right here, Wednesday the 10th. We'll be back then. Have a good week. Take care.
Spokane Talks Live is produced in Spokane, Washington by Spokane Talks Online LLC, which is solely responsible for its content. To recommend a guest or topic, or to see this program again, please visit our website, SpokaneTalksOnline.com. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Join us next Wednesday, noon, for another nourishing conversation on Spokane Talks Live.
Is your child having trouble coping with a personal disability, but don't know where to go? Consider our friends at Breakthrough Incorporated. Breakthrough takes great pride in mentoring their DDA clients who have intellectual disabilities and their BRS clients who have challenging behaviors toward the creation of safe, appropriate, ethically sound life goals. They integrate programs at school and home to enrich their lives. They work hard to make a positive difference in you and your family's lives. Breakthrough provides a highly structured, fully staffed residential setting in local neighborhoods, 6 in Spokane and 2 in the Tri-Cities. Diagnoses affect people differently, so their service to each resident is unique, giving them the opportunity to grow and evolve. For more information on Breakthrough, visit their website at breakthroughincorporated.org.
Hi, this is Kurt Stockwell with Well Dressed Walrus. We are a local website design and development company here in Spokane. What we do is build beautiful, usable websites for local businesses. A website needs to be beautiful, it needs to be usable for your users, your customers, and yourself. Contact us anytime. We'd love to talk with you about your online marketing.
What? You haven't been to the library lately? Stop in today and see that the library is more than books. Spokane County Library District facilities feature on-site technology, including Wi-Fi, computers, and printers, as well as free use of meeting rooms. The Library District offers events and programs for all ages, from story times to career development and employer classes to Social Security workshops. Our staff is well trained and happy to help. Find out more about your library at scld.org.